So the analysis is that petitions are legally sufficient and they meet the statutory requirements. As such, the resolutions of the governing body would consider find that petitions are sufficient, find that the improvements are advisable, and establish that applicable properties, which would be the improvement district, should be assessed for the improvement costs in the manner set forth in the petitions. So the resolutions will read much like this. Each petition has been signed by the owner developer of all the property within the improvement district, and under statutory provision, the owner is requesting that no public hearing or notice be given. And that's a requirement. The apportionment of the cost of each of the improvements between the improvement district and the city is 100% of the costs are to be assessed. So the city at large is not responsible for any of those costs. Occasionally, you may recall that the city might be responsible for a water line upsize or a sewer line upsize. None of that is requested here, so 100% assessed. The method of assessment is equally per lot. With respect to the phase 1 water line and street improvements, there are 84 lots in that phase. So those would be assessed, each lot 1/84 of the cost. With respect to the sanitary sewer, the sewer main, and the storm drainage improvements, those are more general. Those apply to the entire development, so all 212 lots in the plan addition are to be assessed. Little more information. The estimated costs in the improvement districts are phase 1 streets. I mentioned on the phase 1 streets and water, that's 84 lots. So if you go through that listing, that is 84 lots in that phase. $995,000 estimated cost for those streets, $720,000 estimated cost for the water line. The sanitary sewer main, and the stormwater drainage, as I referenced, that benefits the entire addition. It's 212 lots if you work through and count those. Estimated cost on the sewer is $1,248,000. Sewer main, $304,000. And stormwater drain, $2,137,000. Ancillary items, financials. In accordance with the statute, there are no direct costs to the city in accepting the petitions and adopting the resolutions tonight, except the small publication costs associated with the resolutions. But these resolutions do authorize general obligation bonds of the city. It's expected that this will lead to temporary note financing and then ultimately permanent general obligation bonds of the city once the improvements are complete. Legal petitions have been reviewed by bond counsel, Steeple Nicholas, financial advisor. I prepared the resolutions for consideration. So recommendations and actions is that the council accept each of the petitions and approve the corresponding authorizing resolution. So there are 5 different petitions, there are 5 resolutions, there would be 5 motions where you would accept the petition, as you can see, for phase 1 street improvements and approve the resolution authorizing phase 1 street improvements. And then likewise for each of the other projects, phase 1 water line, sanitary sewer main, stormwater drain. And that's all I had. Again, this is something that the city does fairly frequently. As was said earlier, I didn't present this nearly as quickly as Micah would. But happy to address any questions you might have, if it's particular to this or just the general process of any of what I've described. You could. I'm not sure you say some votes, but the number of words that you're saying.
Accept the petition. We can a motion that on phase 1 street improvements and approve the resolution authorization phase 1 street improvements for 23rd Street addition. That was my motion.
I second.
That's okay. Yeah, that's
I
the
just did the one.
phase 1
You
street.
said the phase 1.
I just did the phase 1.
Oh, yeah, that's all,
All
that was
favor.
something we're just doing
Yeah.
it all. Okay, so, first resolution, Brent made the big motion, Kristen seconds, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, here we go, next.
Okay, make a motion to accept the petition of phase one water line improvements and approve the resolution authorizing phase one water line improvements for 23rd Street South Addition.
Curtis made the motion, Keaton seconds, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody else
Your
wanna
turn.
jump in there?
Make a motion to accept the petition for sanitary sewer improvements and approve the resolution authorizing sanitary sewer improvements for 23rd Street South Addition.
Second.
Keaton's motion, Brenda second, Krista, you're shut out at this point, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Krista, would you like to make a motion?
We're
Sewer main.
Sewer
okay,
main.
the sewer main. I make a motion to accept the petition for sanitary sewer main improvements and approve the resolution authorizing sanitary sewer main improvements for 23rd Street South Addition.
Krista's motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Keaton seconds, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Mayor, do you want to go this action?
No, I don't. Go
You
ahead.
really should.
That's okay, good. I'm just trying to keep track of you guys, that's hard.
Make a motion to accept the petition for stormwater drain improvements and approve the resolution authorizing stormwater drain improvements for 23rd Street South Addition.
Second.
Keaton's made the motion, Brett second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Kevin, appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. General obligation, temp notes. All this high finance stuff.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen of the council, Brett Sjogren, Steeple Public Finance, here in Wichita, financial advisor for this transaction. Some background, or I guess this is a temp note sale, resolution for Series 2024-2 for Rustic Creek Phase 2 improvements. Some background, on April 1st, the city council authorized various resolutions, just like you just did. I mean, you authorized a lot of resolutions for the same type of improvements for Rustic Creek Phase 2, paving, water distribution system, sanitary sewer, and stormwater drain improvements. That was step one. Step two happened on April 15th. City council adopted a resolution authorizing the sale of general obligation temporary notes, Series 2024-2, for a public sale on May 20th, 2024, to provide interim finance to fund the Rustic Creek Phase 2 projects. With approval, Steeple Public Finance prepared the preliminary official statement and advertised the sale to potential bidders, purchasers, banks, underwriters, and investors. And this morning, we opened bids at 10 a.m. We evaluated them for accuracy. The two bids that were received on the general obligation temporary notes, the cover bid was from Robert W. Barrett and Company at a true interest cost, which is the last line there. That's the number we look at when evaluating bids. Typically, if the bid checks out and it's accurate and it's by a good bidder, a reputable bidder, we take the lowest true interest cost. So Robert W. Baird presented a bid at a true interest cost of 4.239144%. And the best bid was from Central States Capital Markets, LLC out of Prairie Village, Kansas, at a true interest cost of 4.105367%. It is recommended that the City Council accept the best bid provided by Central States Capital Markets, LLC, at a true interest cost of 4.105367%, and adopt the note resolution, finalize the sale, and formally issue the temporary notes. Once approved, we'll work with bond counsel to prepare the transcript, order the notes printed, submit the transcript to the Attorney General's office for approval, and this is scheduled to close on June 6th, which is when you'll get the money to fund those projects, or start funding those projects. Kevin talked about the 3 steps in this process. This is the third and final step for this particular project or development. Financials, the costs of issuance, the closing costs for this transaction will be paid for with note proceeds and eventually be special assessed to the property owners via general obligation bonds. The semi-annual interest payments on the notes will be paid for using capitalized interest, which provide note proceeds, which are funded within the sizing of the note issue. As far as legal, the note sale, the note resolution, supporting documents were authorized by the Special Assessment Statute, KSA 12-6A01, and have been drafted by your bond counsel, Kevin Cowan and Gilmore and Bell, and reviewed by City Attorney Ryan Peck, who approves the form. It is staff's recommendation, my recommendation, and your staff's recommendation to accept the best bid from Central States Capital Markets, the purchaser that provided the lowest true interest cost. This is a voice vote. And the second item is to adopt a note resolution authorizing and directing the issuance, sale, and delivery of general obligation temporary notes, series 2024-2. Do they have to read the whole resolution? Or is that fine? That's fine. Okay, that's a good thing. And I'd be happy to stand for any questions you may have.
And they're both voice votes. Terry, that second one, is that? Any questions?
I make a motion that we accept the best bid from Central States Capital Markets LLC, purchaser providing the lowest true interest cost.
I second.
Brett makes a motion, Krista seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have another motion here.
Oh,
One more.
One more.
I make a motion to adopt the note resolution of authorizing and directing the issuance, sale, and delivery of general obligation temporary notes, series 2024-2.
Second.
Krista makes a motion, Keith seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much.
Appreciate your time. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Mayor and City Council, grant application, United States Department of Transportation Active Transportation Infrastructure Investment Program. We'll call it ATIP for design engineering costs of the US 54 bicycle and pedestrian bridge. If you remember during the special city council meeting in March, governing body authorized Trans Systems to write and apply for the CPRG grant on behalf of the city. The CPRG program would fund 100% of the construction costs for the US 54 bike ped bridge. City staff aim to further partner with Trans Systems to write and apply for the ATIP program, which would cover the cost of plan design and engineering fees related to the bike ped bridge project. A lot of times we consider about 10% of the construction cost as a real rough estimate as to what the planning and engineering fees might be. Let's say this undesigned bridge costs anywhere from $5 to $7 million. 10% of that's going to be $500,000 to $700,000. So the engineering alone is pretty expensive. This grant would pay for 80% of those costs. We require a 20% local match. The deadline is June 17th. Purpose of this agenda item is to consider approving the contract with Trans Systems. Seen some chatter on the airwaves about some of the logistical pieces of this bridge, where it may or may not be. How does it interface with the Northwest Bypass? What about the US 54 improvements coming from the east? I want everyone to be rest assured that all of those items are noted and accounted for. So we're taking that into consideration. One of the misconceptions about grants is that you're kind of gambling because it's a competitive process. But the response to that is when we put this application together, we will be able to utilize it on other grants should this one not hit. Maybe even the same programs, because a lot of these are annual. So the goal here would be, if we get this one, we would be able to pay for 8% of the engineering costs, and then if we get the CPRG, 100% of that. Let's say we don't get one or the other, the more of this material we add together, the better we can get these grants to score, and our opportunity to win these just continues to increase the more of a fully baked grant application and details we have pulled together for the project. So if there's any questions about this, oh, and by the way, it's not pending legal review anymore. Ryan's team, Johnny on the spot, they got that approved earlier today. So we would recommend the council authorize, and I put the city administrator here instead of mayor because I'd like to get that turned around relatively quickly. Authorize the contract attached to Exhibit A.
Can you go back to that picture?
Sure.
That's not like, is that final? Exactly where you put it?
That's not the exact location. Where would you like it to be?
Well, where's that, what parking lot is that? Is that halfway?
That right there?
Yeah.
I believe so. That's where the little construction trailer is for all the highway work, there's the bank, etc. We will, this also includes
That
connecting
drawing doesn't show
paths.
that new road. That's the old road.
Yeah, I think that's what's messing with my head.
That's what's messing with
Yeah,
your head.
that's interesting.
Yeah, the
That's
new
the old
road goes,
So it's right there. That's a good
Maybe
spot.
it opens the exact spot. That's kinda cool.
keep in mind with these big projects, I mean, you'll see this 10 more times before we ever put
Okay.
something in the ground.
Yeah,
so.
see, that's just a temporary little
Yeah,
drawing that
well, for
he
some
drew
reason,
up.
my mind had this between 183rd and 167th. I was like, that doesn't make any sense at all. But, I see it.
Now you're
I'm with
right.
you. Yeah, I'm with
Right
you.
mile.
I always say it's a few hundred feet west
That's,
of
that's what Brahms
183rd.
is. Cool. So it will connect the north side to Brahms more efficiently.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that sounds like spot on right now. That's just a,
Yeah, I was just curious.
It'll
he
be
could have
built
stuck that right past
someplace.
his driveway. That's what he should have did.
So most of our neighbors live north, and it's kind of a high quality of life amenity when you can go receive all the services without having to get in your car. I think our slogan says promote active lifestyles, and
Yeah,
it
turn back
certainly
to your-
supports that. To what?
To your recommendation. Yeah.
I'll
I'd like
make
to
a
make a
motion.
motion that we authorize the city administrator to execute the agreement for transistor seen attached exhibit A.
Second.
Brent's made the motion, Keaton seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Tina Powell, number 8 on your program.
This is item I-8, the resolution to remediate the code violation at 210 West 23rd Street. So, background. The city received a complaint of a tarred and dilapidated shed in the backyard of 210 West 23rd Street. Upon visual inspection, city officials found the shed to be in violation of Goddard Municipal Code 8-609, designation of blighted premises. The purpose of this agenda item is for the city council to consider adopting a resolution that would allow city staff to hire a firm to enter the property and abate the blight. Cost for the work would be assessed to the property owner. That is a photo of the shed in the backyard. This is the analysis. Formal notice of blight was sent by certified mail on March 5th. Formal notice of blight was unclaimed and returned to sender on the 23rd. Formal notice of blight was sent by regular mail as well. On April 4th, an attempt was made to reach the owner, Jared B. Douglas, by phone, explaining the situation and informed about the Goddard trash cleanup day where he could have taken the debris. On April 5th, 30 days to remediate was, that was the completion of that 30 days. Code enforcement attempted to make contact in person. I'm the code enforcer, went to his house, knocked on his door, nobody came to the door. Formal notice of blight was taped to the front door of the residence, and there has been no remediation to date. There are no costs to remediate, which will be assessed, costs to remediate, which will be assessed to the property to make the city whole. Legal is approved as to form. It is recommended that the city council approve the resolution attached, ordering the abatement of certain conditions at 210 West 23rd Street. Are there any questions?
Yeah, I'm assuming you were the one that taped the thing to the door?
Yes.
Did you knock that time too?
Yes.
So there were multiple in person,
Yes.
multiple by mail, multiple by phone.
Don't ever want something like that in my backyard.
Maybe worse than that.
I think with letters and everything else, I think this is what we started in March. 60 days.
And just so you know, when I went there, the front door was open, the glass
Oh,
door was
really?
closed, the dog came to the door, there's a ring doorbell as well, so,
Really? They
So-
know you're there.
yeah.
Make a motion to approve the resolution attached ordering the abatement of certain conditions at 210 West 23rd Street.
Keaton motions, there's a second. I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
Um,
Thank you. City Administrator, reports.
Honorable Mayor and City Council, thank you for taking a moment to read my brief report. And it's going to outline some upcoming agenda items, some of the things that the city staff is working on, of course. Please feel free to ask questions, comment. Let us know if we're moving in the right direction on some of these things. 183rd turn lanes, traffic control decision. The final check plans are due to KDOT the week of June 3rd. Traffic control continues to be the largest discussion item per KDOT schedule. This would advertise for bid the week of June 18th, or excuse me, yes, it would advertise for bid June 18th and the letting would be July 17th. We would like some consensus and guidance from the council as to whether you would prefer us to do a full closure, sorry about the spelling there, of 183rd Street North at US 54 for 60 days, kind of the Band-Aid tear approach, or partial closures for 90 days. General consensus would be good.
So that's 60 days for the whole project, north and south.
60 working days.
Yeah, 60 working days.
And that's if we shut down the whole thing.
Yes. Harlan and Tina were on that call at Brooks, so maybe you can help jog my memory a little bit. The Catholic Church would always have access by one drive.
Correct. They would build, the south turn lane would be built while that was open. They may shut down a little bit northbound traffic to turn going east on Kellogg, but that side would stay open. Your southbound would be closed completely.
And the R cut will be open, so the bank will have access through the R cut. So
That's for the 60 days?
Correct.
The direction will still be open?
Could I add somebody who drives through that now with it being partially closed, with the light being in a loop?
Yeah.
Right now, the light's in a loop, so that way when you drive off that light, the camera does not activate the light. It will run full timing on east and west, full timing north and south. If you're going south there right now, you will sit through 2 to 3 stoplights before you can get through that intersection. Just doing that alone, and as somebody who uses it regularly, as someone who lives in this city, I think it would be beneficial to limit that amount of time to 60 days. Because the lady back here, she drives through there as well. It's kind of a mess. So to close it, I think and save 30 days would probably be beneficial.
60 working days, means 12 weeks. I know I'm good at math, but sorry. The simple things.
we did float this at the Mayor's Advisory Council meeting, and we talked to a couple of stakeholders, and most of what we heard is they want us to get in and get it done. But we haven't had a broad outreach to receive feedback.
Craig, you might also want to mention it's asphalt, and you will get a better project if you do it all in one fell swoop instead of doing it in pieces.
Mr. Mayor, I want to make sure you hear this comment from Tina.
I just wanted to mention that it is an asphalt surface, so you're going to get a better product by doing it in one section instead of chopping it up.
Right. It'll look nicer.
24-hour work days.
We're gonna have to definitely get some officer presidents there, as ceilings, because it's gonna be a racetrack.
We talked about that too, and we want to make sure that we put no commercial traffic, maybe some other signage and stuff to
We're gonna wear out our own road in there.
to negate people from going through there. So, some people will definitely see that as a thoroughfare, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a racetrack, I like it.
Chief, you heard that?
Yes, oh yeah, duly.
And this project will probably start possibly September.
It'll be a fall project. We will make sure that in the bid and contract docs that they are not allowed to start till the R-Cut's complete, or excuse me, the North Frontage Road.
I guess if we consent to 60 days and next 2 weeks, whenever next meeting, the place is full, we'll know that there's some differences.
That's true.
Did you have?
Go ahead, Kristen.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
go ahead, Tina.
I also wanted to mention as well, when you're letting this project as a 60-day project with a full closure, you're gonna reduce costs possibly with mobilization, and then also with traffic control. They won't need as many items, so then we can bring our bid down a little bit on those items.
All good things to consider.
And we're just looking for consensus at this juncture. We have time to continue to tweak on that. We were doing community engagement for a traffic control plan today for a project that starts, later this week. So we'll have time to, if we had to change that. So
We'll have less crime, so we can turn off killing.
So moving along here, general consensus, 60 days. We'll go on record with that as for tonight.
we'll start with that. On to the other road projects. North Frontage Road, Mill and Overlay. The Mill and Overlay of the North Frontage Road between Vermeer and the concrete west near the bank is scheduled to begin this Wednesday and last approximately 3 to 4 days. Since this has already been closed for the R-Cut, the goal is to get in and get this knocked out first. Public Works staff and our city planner went out, did some door knocking for the first 4 cul-de-sacs and the seasons there to make them aware of the continued closure. And they've also been pounding the pavement, talking to all of the business owners and stakeholders over there. So that's that project. Wampo public meeting, there's a flyer over there by the front door. Take a peek at that. Wednesday, June 5th at Pathway Church from 10 to 11:30 a.m. They're studying the need for more service and what opportunities are appropriate to better connect the outlying communities of Wichita, particularly for work trips. Something that I'd really like to see is a park and ride over there at 183rd and US 54. That would be a cool opportunity. So those are the types of things that can be fleshed out during a public engagement session. The last one was not excellently attended, so I would really encourage folks to come out, because that's where you make an impact and guide dollars to your community by being a part of those discussions. Just wanted to mention some other things on the street projects. There was a stakeholder engagement meeting earlier this evening. The project team is implementing feedback from the stakeholders to finalize the phasing and traffic control plan. Tentatively, the North Frontage Road and 2nd Street reconstruction project are scheduled for mid-June and will last approximately 70 working days. The Mill and Overlays of Walnut, Main, and First are scheduled for mid to late June as well. Still working on the stormwater item. We got the charter ordinance in for the fee. One of the things we're working on right now is trying to nail down the cost for the annual stormwater maintenance program, and we're working on a little bit of survey so we can get a better set of plans for the dirt contractors to bid on. So my colleague in the Public Works Department, Gary, mentioned to me earlier this evening that some of the improvements that we've already made have created a difference in the south side of town as far as how our stormwater system performed during this latest rain event. So hopefully folks appreciate that. Rural Water District 4 cross connection. We approved the contract at the last meeting. Next steps include planning the pump station project and then looking at the user fee ordinance to cover costs of the water purchase from Rural Water District. It's going to be an equitable formula that we will work with the City Council on developing. The R-Cut Open House, May 30th, 2024 from 5:30 to 7. We will have the traffic engineer Trans Systems in tow, leading and presenting and answering all the R-Cut questions. We've got some cool handouts that we've been sharing with the community the last couple months. They're going to have simulations, poster boards. They're going to lead a little keynote and answer all the questions. We know there's folks concerned because there's not a lot of R-Cuts in Kansas. In fact, I think there'll be 2 after this one. So we want folks to have an opportunity to come learn a little bit more about it before we get that thing cut open here in the next few weeks. I mentioned at the last meeting, our new Assistant City Administrator, Ryan Schrack, will begin on May 30th after 8.5 years service as the Community Development Director for City Valley Center. Monthly work sessions. I'm going to be probably sending out something to you guys about that this week with the short meeting we had because of the storm that never was. We just kind of ran out of time to put together some potential dates for you guys to consider for that. I think the general consensus is we do want to do that. If you could, what do you guys think? Yeah? Okay. Capital Improvement Program, we will be presenting that. That's going to be the roadmap illustrating upcoming capital projects, cost, financing, and prioritization. The Maple Tree zoning amendment will be on the next Planning Commission agenda and then to be ratified by the city council thereafter. A few future agenda items: the stormwater projects and fee, the 167th edition's petitions, Arbor Creek South petitions, our waiver for the Lions Club fireworks show, a waiver for a school reunion, and then a couple of procedural items as well. Last but not least, the North Park open house will be Thursday, May 30th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Heavy hors d'oeuvres will be provided by your awesome city staff. Any questions about any of those items? Are we on the right track? Do we, anything in notes?
The Arcat open house is the same day as the North Park open house?
No, it should be the day before. That's a typo.
So which one's first?
The park's on
Only
Wednesday.
coming to once.
Park's on Wednesday, the others on Thursday.
29th.
Thank you. The flyers are correct and the Facebook ads, so I must have pressed the wrong number when I typed this. Thank you, Councilman Hall, for correcting.
It's much his fault.
Yep.
Anything else, guys?
I think we're good. I just try to communicate as clearly as we can, the archive information, communicate to the community clearly as we can, the North Park things, positive things, and just keep up the good momentum we've got and keep things rolling.
Thank you.
Okay. Governing body comments. Brent, would you like to say a word?
Really?
You should go first.
Man. You make me go first.
I let you go first. You want to go first? I'll let Krista go first.
Well, man, I bought another car today. No, just, yeah, I did. It's really bad.
You can find help for that. Anything else?
1957 Packard
Oh,
today.
1957 pack.
That's
How
right.
fast does it go?
Huh?
How fast does it go?
Right
Speed
now,
limit. The speed limit.
It says what the
Well,
sign
right
says.
now, it's tomorrow. It's getting picked up in Idaho Falls, Idaho. It's being transported here.
I had a friend in high school that had a Packard, and he drove that thing so that the wheels were like this.
Oh yeah.
I recommended
Well,
you don't be driving it out in the week.
The Clipper has a Toyota or a turbo on it. Stock turbo back in the day.
All right. Anything else?
That's it.
I have nothing at this point.
I didn't buy a car today. Just clarifying. Couple quick things. Ben Healy, just again, thank you. He left pretty quick, didn't he? Thanks, Ben. Those rocks are cool. I'm excited to see what else the team can do with those. Main Street Market on Mother's Day was awesome. And those events and a lot of other events could not be done without the Goddard Chamber of Commerce. Angie does an incredible job, but just the chamber members, the board over there, there is, I get like 8 invites a week for different meetings. That team and Angie do so much in our community. So thank you, not only to you, but to the chamber as a whole. They are integral in the things that happen in our community that make our community so special. So wanted to make sure to highlight them. Main Street Market on Mother's Day was a huge success. It was incredible. We had 50 flower pots to give out, and they were gone in 24 minutes. So there was a lot of people very excited, a lot of mamas that were out there. That made my heart pretty happy. Got to sit down with Randy and Jody. Does that count as our coffee?
No.
The first half cup. We're counting as half of it. Got to spend some time just visiting with them over at Cofellow, and really cherished that time. Enjoyed that time with you guys. So thanks for letting me and Bradley sit in there and eat our burritos. It was awesome. So that's all I got.
I purchased a plot at the community garden, and it's beautiful over there, and I think that everyone is doing a great job working together, and I have not grown anything ever, so it's a learning experience for me too. And then I'm just excited about the parks, linear park, all the things that are coming with that, and yeah, I think the city's doing a great job. Thank you.
Okay, tonight we do have a couple of items under executive session, so I'll entertain a motion that we go into executive session for,
Make a motion to move to recess into executive session to discuss the 6-month performance review of the city administrator pursuant to the non-elected personnel matters exception KSA 75-4319B1 within the city council reconvening the open meeting in the city council chamber at 9:05.
Second?
all those favors say aye.
Aye.
We will be back. somebody turn up the heat here one minute?
Yeah, you probably did.
You gotta wait, a minute and a half, sorry.
Students?
We need to-
Yeah, we have
No,
to-
we're gonna
Live back on?
Welcome back. I'd like to make the note that there was no binding action taken during the last 30 minutes. And we're gonna do this again, so.
I'd like to make a motion that non-elected personnel to discuss performance evaluation with the city administrator
and with our city attorney.
and with our city attorney.
And action to follow.
And action to follow.
And action to follow. We'll allow 10 minutes and reconvene at 9:15.
Mm.
Let's do 20 and be back 5 minutes early.
Yeah,
So it'll be 9:25.
9:25.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
it'll become.
Okay, so whatever I'm supposed to say, we're live. There's no binding action taken in the executive session, but we're going to take some binding action now.
I make a motion that we approve a $12,000 increase to the salary of Craig Crossett, City Administrator.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Just a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.